with Help Me Devvon right now, and I'm actually going to be asking him some questions and just getting some insight on his come up as a content creator, his tips and tricks as an audio engineer, and I'm even going to ask him about his other identity, Devvon Terrell.
my other identity is so funny. It's like, yo, I am who I am, right? Like, I'm me.
Yeah, so we're going to be asking Help Me Devvon and a little bit of Devvon Terrell as well, just so we can get some insight on, what's his process, you know what I'm saying? I definitely learned a lot from him, so I'm hoping you guys learn a lot in this sit down. What's going on, my guy? You good?
I'm good, man. It means a lot to even hear you say, like, you learned a lot from me. I appreciate that, bro.
No,
like,
for sure.
For real, yeah.
No,
like,
for sure.
real.
I appreciate you having me here in this room.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thanks.
you made dozens of videos in here. You
A lot, man. This is my
Yeah.
life. Like, this little room is my life. Anytime I get an opportunity to get out of this room, I'm like mad happy.
Bro, me and you both.
Bro,
Me and you
I think
both.
every engineer feels that way. It's like this room is like this is your life right here. You know what I mean? For the most
This
part.
is really like your workroom. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like we got to make it as creative as possible and just make it as comfortable as possible.
Yes,
possible,
as you
know
can
what I'm
see, and you can see how like it's like just a creative room. You can feel it, like you know what I
Yes.
mean. Like it's mad chill.
Yes. And I wasn't even gonna start off with like podcast tips, but I actually do want to ask you something about that. I
Please.
see that you have everything set up way better than I have everything set up. So just like as an engineer or just a person who wants to start a podcast, what cameras do you advise?
Ooh, so right now, for instance, I'm using the Sony A7 IIIs.
Okay.
Right. So not the S, not the R, like the cheap. I don't want to say cheap, but the cheaper,
Cool.
More affordable A7 IIIs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of them. Obviously, I had a podcast studio back in the day, so A7 IIIs, and then for my wide angle, that's the only camera that's the A7 IV.
Okay.
And the A7 IV I like because it's 10-bit. We're getting a little nerdy on the video side. It's 10-bit, so the colors look really nice.
Okay.
So I'm cool with that being the wide and not like someone's individual, because I don't want leaving screaming at me like, yo, bro, why your colors look amazing, bro? And then mine, his don't.
Yes,
So I
yes.
use that for the wide. So I'm literally all on Sony A7 IIIs, like
Okay.
for the entire setup. And then there's an A7 IV in the mix for the wide. But the A7 IV is my main tutorial, like kind of camera. That's my main camera.
That's your main camera.
Yep.
Okay,
so I'm
cool,
in
cool.
10-bit when I'm recording my like.
And I
main
actually use
stuff.
the same microphones you're using, which was great for this whole setup.
Shout
right
out
here.
Lion, bro.
Yeah, Lion is killing
Insane.
the game with
Yeah.
these in particular. I love these, and I got the Atlantis as well just for recording.
We got the same mics, bro.
Yeah, we got the same exact setup with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, guys, I use a 6400, which I would advise to just get a 7.3 if they're the same, almost the same price you use. Definitely look that up because I use a 6400 and it comes out great. You guys always ask, but I like how this looks over here. I'm able to see everything right now, and I'm like, yeah, this looks great.
You feel safe, right? Like
Yeah.
from a content creator, you feel safe because you see the recording time,
Yes.
you see levels, like everything. I'm seeing Pro Tools is going, like everything is I feel safe. Like when I'm sitting here, I'm not worried about it.
Yes.
And there's no one behind the camera.
Yes.
And people are seeing this switch, which we could talk about,
And then
like,
a whole nother, like
when you want, like
that right there is a whole mouthful. You was telling me about the whole podcast AI thing.
yeah.
I think for people who don't know how to edit videos, that
Right.
would be great for them.
Godsend,
So
bro.
what was that? What was the app called?
So it's called Autopod.
Autopod.
Not sponsored by them or anything
Okay.
like that. But it's a great app where in Premiere, what I can do is if you record the individual mic audio, right? And then you record the individual video stems of these videos. So one, for instance, there's a stem of your video that's being recorded. There's a stem of my video being recorded. There's a stem of your audio being recorded. There's a stem of my audio being recorded. Now I can go into Autopod in Premiere. And what it allows me to do is it allows me to take that audio and that video and say, hey, Devvon mic is that video. L's mic or L's audio is that video.
Okay.
And then it says, okay, cool. It looks at the audio and just chops it up.
and chops everything up for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro, like that was a life
Life changer,
move
right? I
that
still
saved-
manually cut.
Bro.
Okay. I still manually cut. I have to listen to the conversation and
Yep.
figure out who's talking, and and I have one audio.
Right.
Yeah. So
you just
I love
combine.
it. Yeah. I love your
bro.
setup. I love
It
your
was just
setup.
impossible for us. Like
Yeah.
we put out a lot of content, bro. So it just became impossible and too costly. To continue doing it with someone actually being here and doing it. This podcast wouldn't exist if I didn't find, like, for instance, that too, and just figure out ways to like just get costs down. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So AI could be beneficial in some ways.
Absolutely, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I know we've had conversations about AI, obviously in music being dangerous, which I think it is, and I don't agree with a lot of the directions as far as where we're going and stuff like that. But I'm also going to be a person where I understand this technology is not going anywhere, and we should in some capacity try to figure out ways to make it improve our creativity and our art and and add to things and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
like looking at Pro Tools and saying, yo, this isn't right. Like we shouldn't be using Pro Tools to record. It's like kind of makes things easier, so I don't want to be on that side. I want to be open to it, but at the same time there are things that I'm like, okay, well, on this end I do think we do need to get this in control and kind of figure out. So definitely.
So with AI, are you more scared of the engineer side or the artist side of things?
Right now, I think, and I'm gonna be super honest, and I think this is my bias because I am an artist first. I know people know me as, there's a school of people that know me just for engineering and stuff like that, but I'm an artist first. I think that I'm more afraid on that side because I've been through many apocalypses, which is not a word, through my career as an artist. Obviously, I've been making content and putting out music and stuff and doing this before Instagram even existed. Like I've been doing it back
Since
in
MySpace?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I was one of those
MySpace
guys.
music page?
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to code my page. Yep. Like I was marketing, like back in those days. So to me, it's just like I've seen the streaming era come and rip through us. I've seen algorithms change from chronological to algorithmic, and I've seen that become another apocalypse. So to me, it's just like I'm wary of it because I've seen it happen, and when it happens to artists, it happens really fast. So that's
you have to adjust,
and it's horrible because to adjust, it's like, well, it always. A lot of times it comes to places where it's like, hey, we're not making that, money, like a lot of artists, like we struggle, like a lot of artists, I've been very blessed as an artist, like, you know what I mean? To have a catalog that generates income and stuff. But at the same time, it's just like, man, I feel bad for other people. You know what I mean?
Trying to
like,
come up, trying to even get their name out and trying to just compete with AI artists that's getting that funds, getting funded and whatnot.
And I'm going to say they, but look what the newer artist has to deal with. Like, what? You're competing with AI. You can have 1 million followers and it mean nothing. Back in the day, for us, it was a wrap because that meant I can hit 1 million. I can hit 1 million people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Now, bro, it's like,
yeah, I think now because when you post like on social media, it's not going to all your followers
at
anymore.
all. It goes to a small pool,
and then it has to unlock.
And then it unlocks.
It's like a fucking video game.
Yes, it is.
Excuse my French, guys.
Yep. All good. We use a lot of profanity in this room.
Yeah, I feel that because I'm like, man, if you got so many followers, why aren't everybody seeing this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it has to unlock.
Yeah.
You're right. Like that's a great way to put it. It has to unlock. It has to hit certain milestones as it's going down the pool. Yeah, that's why some people are in that TikTok 200 view jail. Like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Like it's taking a pool of people and then it's like, okay, cool. How does this pool of people reacting? Okay, then we'll move it to this pool. Oh, it did well. Oh, and then all of a sudden it switches on. And that's it. I've had so much stuff go viral. So like how it goes. It's like it's slow. It's like then there's like this spike. Then there's like a explosion. You know what I mean? And that's it. So yeah, we all deal with that, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And right now for engineers, do you think short form content or like long form content is a good thing for them to try to get their work out to show other people like what they can do?
I think in the long form, that's where your stability is.
Yes.
From a financial standpoint. And we're talking about this because this is a business, right? Let's be very transparent about that. It's from a long-term standpoint, I think long-term is where you want to grow into if you can, right? I don't want you to do something that's not fun or you don't like.
Yeah.
But from a stability standpoint, I do think that the long form does give you a little bit more stability than that short form. That short form is a mother, It changes very fast. Not to say long form hasn't changed, but I feel like short form changes so much. And finding ways to monetize your short form is very... It just changes, it constantly changes. And you got to be very mindful of having a nice balance of, trying, the monetization of it, but also just staying organic. You know what I mean? Like, and trying to keep up with this. I think people have this misconception of content. So, some people, not all, where I don't think people really know how much goes into it, like from being literally making a living doing content.
Yes.
It's a tough gig. It's a really tough gig.
It's actually a 9 to 9 job.
It's
not a 9 to 5.
It doesn't end, man.
It doesn't end. Yeah.
It doesn't end unless you get lucky and you start to find a team. Which it takes time. You know what I mean, to find a team and stuff like that.
And that's investing.
And investing. Yeah. That's what the other part people don't see is like, yo, bro, investing. You know what I mean? And I'll try my best to like find ways to just give back to my audience and say, you just try to find like the balance, man, and it just takes time. It takes time, but as long as it's fun, that's like my number one thing.
Whatever,
when it's not, like I said, when it stops getting fun, that's it. Like I was like, all right, I want to do something else. Like I don't.
Yeah, so I definitely agree on that because I came up as a short form content creator at first, and then I was like, once I realized like it was no like monetization into it, that's when I kind of was like, okay, I need to focus on YouTube. Right? I needed to focus on that, so I ended up kind of like making YouTube and then making those into clips, and then when I have particular ideas, I just make reels into that. So I tell people like you could definitely reach an audience like doing short form content, but if your goal is to get monetized and things like that, then it's you're looking at pennies, right? Because I got videos that's like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. I'm not getting nothing close to what I see in long form that only hit 10,000.
Right.
You get what I'm saying, right? So I'm like, okay, this is I know it's a 10-minute video and this is a 30-second video or whatnot, but it's just like
it's a huge difference.
You could get bookings off short form content if that's your goal, like stuff like that, or just trying to get people's attention. But I do think long form is where it's at when you want stability and you want to have like a consistent income coming in.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, so that you can reinvest it back into your stuff too. Right? You want to up it for your audience. You want to grow it for them. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep feeding them the same thing because eventually, they get bored. You become a one-trick pony. So yeah, bro, like it's great to figure out a way to reinvest it back into your content that then serves your audience and also helps you grow. Like it's a big part of it, man. It's hard, it's tough, but as long as it's fun, you're having fun. I know when me and you and I yesterday when we were just recording and stuff like that, it was fun.
Yeah, it was. It was. It's natural. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's what we like to do.
Right. You could tell we both were, bro. And if anybody else was in that room, they would have been like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, I'm like laughing about, let's be like, I got the plug-in for this. It's like, no one understands that.
No one does,
humor.
bro. No one does. You
but
have
it's
to love
great.
what you do.
You love what you write. You love what you do. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Heck yeah.
All right, so now I got a question for Devvon Terrell. So what was the first microphone you were recording on?
Oh, like back in the day?
Like back in the days, yeah.
I'll say the first microphone I owned. It's better. The first microphone I owned
that's better.
Yeah. The first microphone that I was very proud of was the baby bottle, the blue baby bottle.
Is that the Bluey?
Yes.
Okay.
It's blue, the company Blue Microphones, and then they had a microphone called the baby bottle.
Okay.
They had the regular bottle, which was like, that was kind of like their flagship microphone. You would see it back in the day in the studio and be like, it's a weird shaped mic, but it was like beautiful. But then they had a baby bottle that was more of like a consumer version. It was like $600 retail, but I bought it for $400 used. And that was, oh my gosh, spending $400 back then as a kid was like, I'm serious. Like, I am serious.
Yeah.
So, baby bottle, the blue baby bottle.
Would you still recommend that today?
So, you know what? It's been so long that I can't say.
You can't say.
I can't say because it's just been so long. And then also, I will say that at the $400 range, there are so many really good mics that I would recommend that I bet you will probably blow that mic
out the park.
It might blow that mic out the park. Now, granted, I still think I would listen to that mic and be like, this is still a great mic. But I just know some mics that I'm like shouldn't sound like how they sound for $400. There's a lot of mics out there.
Nah, for sure. So I see that you recorded songs like "Love Yourself" with the TLM 103. Yeah. So did you recorded a couple records with that as well?
Yeah, that was my main mic for most of my Living Weirdo run. So there was an era of my career where I was calling myself Devvon Terrell, the Living Weirdo. And during that run, I was using the TLM 103, like, hands down. Like, that was my mic, bro.
Yeah, and I have to pause you right there, too. So when I posted us yesterday, someone actually commented, was like, is that the weirdo kid?
Yeah. And it throws people off. I'm like, what's wrong with you, bro? Don't talk to him like that. But no, it's okay.
Yeah,
like,
that was your brand. And I remember that's how you always introduce yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was a mistake, too.
Is that the weirdo guy? Like, I was like, that is.
It kind of was a mistake how that whole thing came out. Like, how that became, like, the thing. Like, it was, I was playing around. I would always shoot covers. Like, that was my thing. I was like shooting covers and stuff like that. And I had success. I was getting, a little bit of, I had like 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. I was like, bro, I'm doing it. I'm killing it, right? And my manager was like, stop doing all this fancy video stuff, right? Because I was a videographer. And he was like, just put the mic up and just write the song. And I was like, bro, that's not going to work, bro. It got to look crazy. Bro, I said, all right, I'm going to try it. Put the mic up. And I said, I don't know what possessed me, bro, to do this voice. I don't know why. I was like, I'm going to do a little song for you today. Blah, blah,
I never
blah.
remember that.
And I hope you like it. Yeah. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Did it? I never forget, bro. I remember walking away, like posting it, coming back to my Facebook, and I was like,
different type of numbers.
20,000 views. And I was like, what's happening? And then I was like, oh my gosh, I think And bro, I
You
just
unlocked it.
copy but I learned then when you find something social media wise that works,
You keep doing
you
that
punch
same
it in the
thing.
You punch it
You keep doing
until
the
it
same
stops
thing.
working.
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
I love that you said
Keep
that.
doing
bro.
it, and that was it.
Like once you find something that works one time, try to recreate that 100 more times.
100 more times. Yeah.
Yes,
Until
like-
the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
And eventually, the wheels fell off. The whole cover genre kind of wiped out. I was in the class of like Connor Maynard, Alex Aono, William Singe. Like that was like the class of like the and there was a bunch
Covers.
of girls as well. Sorry to
Yeah.
my ladies. There was a bunch of like the cover time. You know, that was a big
Yeah.
time. And I was a part of that. Futuristic, my guy, my brother. Yeah, and that was it, bro. And I just kept going until the algorithm started to not favor that anymore, like the covers. It
Yeah, just
clear
realizing.
as day. Now that I look back, I'm like, oh, the algorithm. We thought, damn, I'm not good enough anymore. We went through that, but it was the algorithm that was changing, and you didn't understand like the internet and everything was just changing so fast. And it was unprecedented. No one's dealt with that. Like we were the first kind of creators, you know. Like I don't know chronological, the algorithmic.
Like what you talking about? We just posted.
We was like, isn't this good? Because now they're gonna see it
Yeah.
anytime. And
Yeah.
little did we know.
Yeah, no, it got worse. It
No,
got worse.
It got way worse. Like I want a chronological back, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is funny because like when I was coming up, I was doing like I used to create memes first, right? I was creating like little memes,
Sure.
like whatever trending that I seen was going on,
Yeah.
and then I would make it into like for engineers, and then like I had one that hit like 1 million, like with the cat driving with the loud music or whatever like that,
Right.
and it was going viral. So I
Right.
was like, man, I'm going viral all this like so many times. I was like, but what if I just created skits? Like, what if I was in the video? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because this is going viral. So I'm like, let me come up with my own ideas, but let me just reenact it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I ended up doing that. And then, like you said, I started beating it in the face because once one hit 100,000, another one hit 300, this one hit 500,
Right.
one hit 1 million, 2 million. So I'm like, okay, this is my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
No,
and
it's-
when people say like, you're very laid back, like I see a lot of skits now. Everybody's kind of like very energetic. It kind of seems fake a little bit. So
Okay.
I try to make everything seem like this is real life, right?
It
like
does feel that way
sitting
with you. Like when I watch it, you be dead serious. I'm like, yo, he's like dead serious.
Yeah.
I know it's a skit, but
Yeah.
you be feeling dead serious, which I like.
And people comment and be like, "What's wrong with the guy?" Like, like it's like it's a skit. You know what I'm saying? So would you still recommend the TLM 103?
I do. Can I be honest with you? A lot of some of my members and just people in general have been. Anytime I do feedback,
Yeah.
they come up and I'm like, "Yo, what mic is that?" And they be like, "TLM 103," and I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, "Yo, this mic still feels great." A lot of people used to. I feel like people started to stray away from it. The complaint I heard people saying like, "It's too harsh," like it's just too harsh and stuff like that. And I used to love it, and I kind of forgot about it. But lately, I've been hearing it, and I've been like, yo, I kind of want to go spin a block on that mic a little bit.
Yeah.
It sounds good. I think it's a great mic, bro. Like I think you can't go wrong with it, especially just for vocals. Like you know what I mean? Like for female vocals, for rap vocals, I've heard great rap vocals on it. For vocals in general, I love it. I love it for overheads. Sounds really nice for overheads, like a nice open sounding overhead. I like it for a lot of stuff, bro. Like I love that.
So
mic.
more than just vocals itself.
Yeah,
You
for
can use
sure.
it for a lot more stuff.
It could be
Okay.
it's a very versatile to me. I mean, it doesn't have the polar patterns, that you can switch on and stuff like that. I feel like that's what you would go up to like a U87 and stuff like that for. But for what it does, it's fire, bro. I love that mic. Like that mic is dope. I would.
Would you say? Do you remember like what's your biggest record that you know of that done went big?
So there's 2 records. One is I did a Rihanna cover with
Okay.
Drake. It was called Work.
Okay.
That was my biggest probably moment on the internet by myself. I remember it hitting like 50 million views on Facebook.
Okay.
Like it exploded. It was
Yeah,
really
that's
big.
crazy.
It changed my life.
Yeah.
It was a really big moment.
Yeah.
It was the first time that I even like started walking around and getting noticed from people and stuff like that. And opened a lot of doors, record deals and all kinds of stuff started coming from that particular explosion.
Song itself,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I'd say biggest album. I'll go album was a album called Coast to Coast.
Okay.
That was with my guy Futuristic. That album went extremely viral. Independently, we charted. I believe we were top 10 Billboard, like when that album came out, which was unprecedented.
Yes,
we sold
that's fire.
10,000, 11,000 copies first week, which was insane.
Yeah.
Back then, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's insane now if an independent artist can do 11,000 first week. But we did like 11,000 first week. I haven't ordered my plaques personally. I just made me think about them. Like, yo, I could actually probably
Get your plaque.
Yeah,
Get your
yeah.
plaques and put it in
I
here,
should.
man. It'll look nice. So you can put them right up there.
Yeah, tight.
You know
Yeah,
what I
that'd be nice. I should. My wife tells me like you gotta. You know, like
Yeah, you gotta you gotta pat yourself on the back, bro.
once in a blue. You know, I'm
you
really
do.
bad at
You
that.
do.
I'm
You do.
really bad
like
at
you said,
that.
you don't really say like what you've done, like your accolades, but you gotta remind yourself like what you've done.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
man,
saying? You could do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I don't put enough. You get what I'm trying to say. Like I should respect myself a lot more than I do. But yeah, like so that album came out, top 10 Billboard, explosion. So that was like probably the most successful album I had, just in general.
Okay.
And then I had another album chart. It was called The Renaissance. That was a really big EP album for me. And then the biggest song of my career commercially, which I'm being very careful saying the word commercially, biggest song of my career, was definitely a song called Temperature.
Okay.
That was on an album called Weird Nights.
Okay.
That was the biggest song because that was radio. And that's when I was doing like
Fire.
real commercial stuff.
Fire.
And that I learned a lot about the game, like just like major labels and stuff. I learned that's when I got my education in that.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
you know, like
that's when you learned the game. That's when you learned the music industry.
Real,
yeah.
like, where's my radio budget going? And I was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
And understanding that, like, it's like, this is crazy. Like, this game is really crazy. I appreciate all the people that gave me the opportunity. I was signed to Priority Records.
Okay.
And I appreciate all the people over there that gave me a opportunity. It just things didn't pan out as we hoped.
Like longevity and stuff like that.
Things there were things that happened that were like, you know, like literally, bro, like I don't want to say an act of God, but just like, wow, what are the chances of that big mistake or problem or something like that happening? Like people leaving, and stuff like that was like, dang, right in the middle of my record. So, but I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm so thankful to have had the experience of it and stuff
for
like
sure,
that.
For sure. So with all them records, I know you probably did multiple, but were you recording yourself with those records?
Always.
So you recorded all your entire stuff. Yeah.
All the stuff that Billboard charted, I recorded, mixed, and mastered it. Like me and Futuristic.
So you mixed and mastered it as well?
The whole thing.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
2015, when that album came out, the one that built all of them, the one that charted, all of them that charted, I mixed, mastered the entire projects, all of them and stuff like that. Like, yeah. I mixed mastered everything.
And with the biggest records, I know, again, this is probably like a different era, but which microphone do you think you were using around that time when they
all
were
of that?
charting and
bro, it's like
everything
TLM 103. It was like TLM 103.
So that was the 103 season right there.
Yeah, bro, season. Yeah. I'd say the covers and stuff was mostly on the NT2A. I was in love with the NT2A.
The Rode, right?
Yes, it was the Rode. Because it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the microphone, it was the NT series that they actually made in Australia instead of, I think, China. So, you know, when I was reading on Gear Sluts back in the day, it was letting me know that those microphones might be of a better build, better quality, because they took the manufacturing of those microphones and took them to Australia, which I think that's where the 2A comes from.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be because there wasn't much information back in the day, y'all. I just want to let y'all know. So we kind of just was, pulling the hairs. But yeah, that microphone is, and to this day, that microphone still surprises
I had the
me.
black one, and I had it for like 5 years.
Yeah,
I had it for like
hard to let go
5
of.
years, and then I ended up getting the line audio. I think it's the LA320. Their tube.
Oh,
their tube.
yes.
Yes, their tube.
Yes.
Yeah. And when I got
yeah.
that, then I ended up going to the Atlantis.
Nice. Oh, my God. I ain't going to lie, bro. I'm stuck.
But I still have the tube, though. I still have the 320. I have that just in case I ever want to use it, or you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm so stuck on that Atlantis, bro. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Like,
and I keep it on forward, too. Or front, forward, whatever it's called.
I keep it on forward.
Yeah.
And I feel bad.
Yeah.
Because it's so bright. But, bro, it just cuts. It just cuts.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those mics where it's a very bright and open sound. And I'll be like, I'll clean that up a little bit later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like in the box, which I feel bad about, but I just love how it captures. I love the high end that it actually captures. You know what I mean? But I love that mic to death, bro.
So with the Atlantis, what preamp are you using? Like, are you using preamp with the compressor?
Yes.
What's your chain? Like when you're recording?
So recording wise, I'm using the Atlantis in forward mode. That's feeding into the Newton channel, Neve Newton channel. I do a little bit of a mid-range boost with the Newton channel for that microphone, because I feel like that's what's missing from me in that microphone. Just a little bit more mid-range. And then I add that going into the opto comp from Audioscape.
Okay.
Which gives me that nice low-mid kind of creamy kind of sound. And it's just doing like a dB of gain reduction. Like, and that's it. So that's kind of my in-the-box chain. That's
right now. This is your go-to chain right
currently
now.
Right now. Like those vocals you heard the other day, like it's recorded through that chain.
That sounded great.
It's a nice chain. It's perfect for me. For other people, I might take off like certain things on the EQ, and but I mean, I've had everybody record on it and they'd be like, bro, this is smacking. Like, they like it. So that's my chain.